Hey, it's your boy Speed here. Today, we're gonna be talking about top 4 hero in Dota. Support hero, Warlock, the Cockman. Yeah, this hero's pretty good right now. Fatal Bonds, just strong spell. I think after people realized that upheaval is just this nuts ability, the hero rose in popularity. Basically, if you don't know how upheaval works, is the ability does 10 damage per second, and then the longer you channel it, the more damage it does and the more it slows. It's in a very massive radius that is honestly deceivingly large. And yeah, it lasts for 16 seconds at max level. So this ability is nuts. It's crazy good. At level 2, it can do up to 60 damage per second, which is just such a high number. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. And if you want to carry games as a support, I easily will recommend Warlock. The hero can farm, it can scale, it's a good laner, it's just reliable as hell. Alright, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the GameLeap website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken, click the link down below and sign up. This hero's base strength is insane too. Like, I played it, I'm like, why do I have 700 health? Right, you click on some of the other supports. I mean, I guess Skywrath is also pretty high, partially due to the blood grenade, but he doesn't even have a blood grenade, right? This is a no blood grenade HP pool. Treant Protector, who's a strength hero, has less strength than him, which is just so funny. Either way, let's get into it. So in the waves, all you do is you link them to the creep wave. Optimally, you want to link 2 heroes together, okay? You don't just want to link the wave to 1 hero, even though that's fine. Best case scenario, link 2 heroes with the wave, and that's how you're going to get the most value. Because it links 6 heroes, so 4 creeps in the wave, and 2 heroes, that is 6 enemies bound. Obviously, sometimes you're not going to get it. The enemy support is just not going to play in the wave, in which case, yeah, it's fine. Just drop the the Fatal Bonds on the creep wave. In this case, it was also 5 creeps, and so it's really good, right? 5 creeps, 1 hero, that's fine, still 6 units. And basically, if you don't know how the ability works, every time something dies with Fatal Bonds on it, it creates an imp. This imp, I believe, does 30 damage at level 1, but it's in an AoE, but it's really obnoxious, and it makes Fatal Bonds do a lot of damage too. And it just adds up, man, right? It just adds up. You have really good trading, because if you're good attack range, good base damage, and good strength, and then Fatal Bonds just does way too much damage, especially because of these imps, right? Like, Fatal Bonds as a spell on its own is good. Then, now, it just has imps for some reason. It just spawns these damn imps. Now from there, I like that he picks up a blood grenade. You just want to buy a ton of stats. This hero just wants to click, guys. Don't focus on the pull, okay? Also, don't block the large camp. This is one of the only supports in the game that should not block the large camp. Why? Because you're gonna push the wave. You're gonna push the wave, and so the enemy won't block the large camp because they're not thinking about it, right? I think good players might start doing it against Warlock. But basically, you push the wave so hard with Fatal Bonds and the imps that you want to have this camp open to pull to the left because the wave is gonna be playing far up. So you want to have that option in a lot of lanes. We'll see if he goes for it here. Yeah, he does. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? You pull it at like basically late 1 minute, and now he can look to get the lane back by doing this, or he can at least bait Treant to have to come over and tank like 4 auto attacks, which Treant feels really terrible about, right? Treant does not want to do that, as Razor commits pretty hard here. And in terms of upheaval, this is not the best game for upheaval, to be perfectly honest. I do like the blood grenade into upheaval. Unironically, it's actually a good combo. Slow into slow just helps them stay in the upheaval for longer. The longer the better, because the channel, as you channel it, it gets stronger. But typically you want to pair Warlock with like stuns. That's why he's so good with Gyro and Sven, partially because those heroes do AoE damage throughout the game, but also because they have stuns, right? And this just is an incredible pairing. And Razor, he decides to commit into the upheaval. And if there's something I've learned, it's don't run into upheaval. That shit is impossible. Okay, Razor actually makes it look somewhat possible there. The hero does a lot of damage, but man, that ability is strong, especially at level 3, and we'll see that. But yeah, basically you want to wait to use upheaval until you have a blood grenade or until someone gets disabled. You can also use it if the enemy team is committing really hard. That's a decent option as well. For instance here, they're kind of looking to commit on the Void, and it's a really good time dilation, right? It's going to slow, sort of keep them in the upheaval, and look at this, it's just ridiculous. In low MMR, people aren't going to know to run out of it, and so they'll die. Players at this level play against so much. They know if Warlock's level 3, don't go in the upheaval. Do not go near it. Don't go near it. You can't go near it, okay? He even cancels it here to get away from the Treant, but honestly, maybe he shouldn't have. I don't know. Like, this ability is just brutal. And essentially from there, you're gonna max out Fatal Bonds and max out Upheaval. He decided to take a point in his heal this game, which personally I hate. I understand why he did it, like his Faceless Void needed healing, and so I can see some logic, but it's just brutal for your mana pool. You essentially have to rush mana boots if you go this build. And that's not what most people do. Most people on Warlock, they'll buy like Raindrops and then they'll buy Solar Crest because they buy Sage's Mask for the medallion and then they rely on Clarity, Sage's Mask, and maybe Raindrops for mana. But if you're gonna take your W, you basically have to go Mana Boots because it's a low cooldown, high mana spell, right? And that's sort of what he's doing. Is he yoinked? Oh, that's so good. I love that movement. Now from there, it's really good to farm as Warlock. The earlier you get your level 6, the earlier you can carry a team fight. Right, so you'll see here he's farming up the mid wave, he buys a magic wand, which frankly I despise and think is terrible. I don't understand why you would upgrade it when you can just buy, Raindrops or, get your mana boots faster, or get your medallion, whatever it is. I do not understand why you would upgrade your wand, whatever, it doesn't matter. Either way, you can also click your E on creep waves and it completely kills them. It's very good and it's from a far range, so it's very hard to punish. It's also great at defending towers. But yeah, from there, he's gonna get his ulti at minute 9. And this is pretty normal, honestly. This is like a very common Warlock game because he has 1 assist, right? It's not like this guy is super owning, It's not like, oh, he's 4-0 and he has an 8-minute ult. It's like, no, his game is just fine. And basically no one expects the minute 9 ulti, right? Drops the ulti, drops the upheaval, bit of help from his teammates, and they get the kill. Very simple, very easy, and he's going to use the ulti to try to take the tower. Now, typically, I wouldn't recommend using the ulti to take towers. It's not that efficient. It's pretty bad at killing them, and I don't know. It's good if you want to kill creep waves. This thing is insanely good at killing heroes, and it's insanely good at killing creep waves. So, honestly, guys, don't be afraid to farm, right? If a fight ends, or like you're using it to get a solo kill, for instance, you saw him use it to kill off the Razor earlier, it's really, really good at just farming out neutral camps, and you can get an absurdly early Solar Crest by doing this. Now, honestly, this isn't Warlock specific, but I just love this play. He's stolen 2 Wisdom Runes this game, and it's just so game-winning. Like, you can't, I don't know what the enemy supports are doing, but you can't let this happen. You can't. 9-9, 6-6. Like, it's just GG. The game is just done. Your supports are 3 levels weaker, it just skews the team fights way too much. It's just so bad. Like, you can't let this happen, guys. And if you are a support player and you're given the luxury to do this, you should do it. It's so broken, the impact double Wisdom Rune has. It's just so broken. In team fights, do everything except what he does here. Don't do this. You do not need to follow up directly on Chrono. I have no idea why he felt the need to run up the Pango and like click Mana Boots. He should either hide here or like go up and to the left. Standing in the middle, like, and eventually showing it a wave is trash, okay? Whatever, he doesn't die, but he does it again. Like, I know it's kind of his team griefing him, which is why he sort of should have ran up and to the left when he had the chance. It might seem like nitpicking, but it's not. This is like super important stuff. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I do it, but this is key, guys, right? You don't want to get stuck in the middle of a wave as Warlock. Your hero is insane from the backline. If you can get a decent Fatal Bonds and a good upheaval, the team fight is over. It's over. These abilities do too much damage in the early game. I'm not kidding. You should just see them when he gets them off. Unfortunately here, he doesn't get either of them off, which feels extremely bad and kind of loses his team the fight. Sort of, not really. Brewmaster's a stupid hero, Pango died early, so they're fine. Now from there, I really like his item build, and I actually want to talk about the importance of these items. I don't think people fully understand why Solar Crest is so good on Warlock, and I even think a lot of the pros that buy it don't fully get it. When you put Solar Crest on one of your golems, guys, this thing is insane. But basically, guys, if you put Solar Crest and then drums your golem, it hits obscenely fast and will solo kill supports in team fights. Obviously, you can also just use the Solar Crest on one of your teammates if they need attack speed or armor to live, right? Or attack speed to kill, whatever it is. But honestly, it's just good for the golem, especially early game. I would say going into the mid game, it's mostly better to actually use the Solar Crest on an ally. If you have a Sven or a Slark or someone who just benefits from the attack speed, that's probably better. The next few things that I really like about Warlock, first off is the level 15 talent. The 15 talent is great, and so is the 10 talent. The 10 talent is upheaval radius, which is obviously good because you're just using this ability a ton. Also, he bought his shard, which if you don't know what it does, it increases the power of all imps summoned by Warlock. This includes your Fatal Bonds and the imps when you channel upheaval. Every 2 seconds you make an imp, and these imps do, once again, so much damage. And by the way, the shard upgrades the power of those imps. And so at minute 15, just if you have Solar Crest, just buy your shard and click upheaval in team fights. The team fight will end because these imps run around, they explode and do like 100 damage, and you make like 7 of them, right? Because it lasts for 16 seconds. It's broken. And then at level 15, you get 10 upheaval attack speed per allies. Apparently it caps at 70. That's what I was told by someone recently. I think you guys commented actually in a recent video. But basically, you channel this upheaval, and it makes, like, these carts, for instance. Look at these carts. They're sieging with upheaval. You could just have your cart siege, you can have your teammate siege, whatever it is, like something like Gyrocopter, so good, right? Because Gyro often lacks some attack speed with his item builds. And as the game progresses, guys, and people have BKBs and Lotus Orbs, the only main thing I want to say is have patience. Don't feel like you have to use your spells right away. For instance, if someone's jumping you every time you use upheaval, like a Pangolier or a PA is finding you, or a Storm Spirit or something like that, just have a bit of patience. Wait for BKBs to end. Wait for someone to use their Lotus Orb. Don't just like force your spells out early on if they're going to be dispelled or just canceled, right? If your upheaval is going to get canceled by Global Silence or your Q is just going to be dispelled by BKBs and Lotus Orbs, have patience, right? It's something very crucial for support players that most players just don't have. As the team fight ends, yeah, just click upheaval and let the imps go to work. That's going to really carry the team fights. But all right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.